20, Janet from procurement won't swap your chicken for her halloumi skewers. You're stuck with it. At 16, your reasons for wanting to pursue a career in medicine are generally along the lines of, my mum or dad's a doctor, I quite like Holby City, or I want to cure cancer. Reasons 1 and 2 are ludicrous, and reason 3 would be perfectly fine, if a little earnest, were it not for the fact that's what research scientists do, not doctors. Besides, holding anyone to their word at that age seems a bit unfair, on a par with declaring the I want to be an astronaut painting you did aged 5 a legally binding document. Personally, I don't remember medicine ever being an active career decision, more just the default setting for my life, the marimba ringtone, the stock photo of a mountain range as your computer background. I grew up in a Jewish family, although they were mostly in it for the food. Went to the kind of school that's essentially a sausage factory designed to churn out medics, lawyers and cabinet members, and my dad was a doctor. It was written on the walls. Because medical schools are oversubscribed tenfold, all candidates must be interviewed, with only those who perform best under a grilling being awarded a place. It's assumed all applicants are on course for straight A's at A-level, so universities base their decisions on non-academic criteria. This, of course, makes sense. A doctor must be psychologically fit for the job, able to make decisions under a terrifying amount of pressure, able to break bad news to anguished relatives, able to deal with death on a daily basis. They must have something that cannot be memorized and graded. A great doctor must have a huge heart and a distended aorta through which pumps a vast lake of compassion and human kindness. At least that's what you'd think. In reality, medical schools don't give the shiniest shit about any of that. They don't even check if you're okay with the sight of blood. Instead, they fixate on extracurricular activities. Their ideal student is captain of 2 sports teams, the county swimming champion, leader of the youth orchestra and editor of the school newspaper. It's basically a Miss Congeniality contest without the sash. Look at the Wikipedia entry for any famous doctor and you'll see. He proved himself an accomplished rugby player in youth leagues. He excelled as a distance runner and in his final year at school was vice-captain of the athletics team. This particular description is of a certain Dr. Harold Shipman, so perhaps it's not a rock-solid system. Imperial College in London were satisfied that my distinctions in grade 8 piano and saxophone, alongside some half-assed theatre reviews for the school magazine, qualified me perfectly for life on the wards, and so, in 1998, I packed my bags and embarked upon the treacherous 6-mile journey from Dulwich to South Kensington. As you might imagine, learning every single aspect of the human body's anatomy and physiology, plus every possible way it can malfunction, is a fairly gargantuan undertaking. But the buzz of knowing I was going to become a doctor one day, such a big deal you get to literally change your name like a superhero or an international criminal, propelled me towards my goal through those long 6 years. Then there I was, a junior doctor. By the way, the term junior doctor refers to anyone who isn't a consultant. It's a bit confusing, as a lot of these junior doctors are actually pretty senior. Some have been working for 15 years, picking up PhDs and so on. It's a bit like calling everyone in Westminster, apart from the Prime Minister, a junior politician. I could have gone on Mastermind with the specialist subject, the human body. Everyone at home would be yelling at their TVs that the subject I'd chosen was too vast and wide-ranging, that I should have gone for something like atherosclerosis or bunions, but they'd have been wrong. I'd have nailed it. It was finally time to step out onto the ward armed with all this exhaustive knowledge and turn theory into practice. My spring couldn't have been coiled any tighter, so it came as quite the blow to discover that I'd spent a quarter of my life at medical school and it hadn't remotely prepared me for the Jekyll and Hyde existence of a house officer. The hierarchy as a doctor goes house officer, senior house officer, or SHO, registrar, senior registrar, consultant. They've recently renamed the ranks. It's now things like F1 and ST7. Everyone still uses the old terminology, though, like when Cocoa Pops were briefly rebranded as Choco Krispies. During the day, being a house officer was manageable, if mind-numbing and insanely time-consuming. You turn up every morning for the ward round, where your whole team of doctors pootles past each of their patients. You trail behind like a hypnotised duckling, your head cocked to one side in a caring manner, noting down each pronouncement from your seniors. Book an MRI, refer to rheumatology, arrange an ECG. Then you spend the rest of your day, plus generally a further unpaid 4 hours, completing these dozens, sometimes hundreds of tasks, filling in forms, making phone calls. Essentially, you're a glorified PA. Not really what I trained so hard for, but whatever. The night shifts, on the other hand...